Hi, this is Chris of Magoosh, and today for vocabulary we have the theme Darkness Descends. Yes, I know that sounds really scary. What's really going on? Just words relating to darkness in some way, starting with one of the most fun words to say, crepuscular. Crepuscular, that is an actual word. How cool is that? What does it mean? It describes the evening time, right before it gets completely dark. That kind of semi-half dark time as the sun sets. That's crepuscular, and it has a very literary flair to it. Honestly, I don't see this being the right answer in a GRE question, but I can imagine it being a distractor, one of the wrong answers. Next up on the Darkness Descends, we have umbrage. Now this is a really interesting word because it's usually bundled in a phrase, to take umbrage at. So when you see it, it's usually this. And I can imagine this being used in a text completion when they're writing it out. Probably not as like the actual fill in the blank, but it's good to know that umbrage means to be upset or to take offense at. So if someone says something that really ruffles your feathers and gets under your skin, then you've taken umbrage at it. You've gotten upset. Why is this darkness? What's going on? How upset are you getting? Well, no, it's the root of the word. Umbra, U-M-B-R, comes from the Latin for shadow. So for darkness. And maybe you've heard of penumbra, which is an actual literal shadow cast upon something. Probably not a GRE word, but cool to know. Next up, we have adumbrate. What did I just do? I made a connection with umber. Why? Because adumbrate has that same root. Adumbrate, though, is a little bit different. It means to foreshadow something. So to outline something beforehand, to go over it, like this is what this is going to be. I'm going to adumbrate my next two words by introducing this root, which I kind of did with umbra. So this is like adumbrating after the fact. Finally, the last word on our list is obfuscatory. Also really fun to say and almost ridiculous sounding. It's like a Harry Potter spell, obfuscatory. What does it mean? It comes from the more common word obfuscate, which means to be intentionally vague and opaque, meaning someone really can't understand what you're saying. So if you're obfuscating maybe a politician who doesn't want to be caught in a lie or a contradiction, that person would start obfuscating. And so obfuscatory is just a fancy noun way of saying to obfuscate. So the statement the politician made was obfuscatory. The Latin, why is this darkness? Because from Latin again, there's another root which means dark, which is fusk. F-U-S-C. Do not mix up the C and the S. So fusk, again, comes from Latin for dark. So good way to kind of think of what it means to obfuscate, to be intentionally misleading, to kind of put darkness over clarity. That's why that word means what it does. And hopefully I have provided a lot of clarity on these dark words. And I will see you next time.